Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and welcome to the Practical Stoic Podcast, where I give you practical Stoic advice for modern times. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/Simon Drew. I also do one-on-one mindset coaching, and you can book in your first free consultation by going to risetothegoodlife.com/coaching. On Facebook, you can join my group, the Practical Stoic Mastermind. But for now, enjoy this episode. Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and welcome to the Practical Stoic Podcast. When you read the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, you'll find many things. You'll find inspiration, thoughtfulness, ideas, strategies, and worthy sayings. One thing that you'll also find is many passages that will seek to force you to your knees and accept how insignificant your existence is. And in this episode, I want to share a few of those passages with you. But first, let me explain. Because although the Stoics did often talk about how insignificant we and our daily events are, there's a perfectly good reason for this. And it has to do with humility and focusing on the important stuff. See, in our lives, it can be easy to put ourselves on a higher level than other people, or to begin to believe that we are more important than some people. We complain and get angry and stressed over silly little things that bug us, and we develop intolerance towards things that are in fact very tolerable. We get more stuff, and then because we have more stuff, we think that we need more. We make more money, and the more we make, the more we need. We buy nice things to build our reputation and to look good to other people, and then we are embarrassed if our lot in life decreases by any measure. But does all the stuff and success and reputation and money really matter? The answer is obviously no. If you look at people all around the world, you notice that happiness is not found in things or money or power or lust. In fact, it has a lot more to do with your own personal philosophy on life and the way that you see the world. And it has very little to do with what you have. But now a different question would be this. Is it wrong to pursue money, or to pursue a good reputation, or to want to have a successful life, at least in the eyes of society? If you ask me, I would argue that the answer is also no, at least in a Stoic sense. There's nothing wrong with wanting all of these things as long as, and this is a very important as long as, your quest for money or reputation or success doesn't interfere with your ability to be virtuous, wise, kind, and a humble person. And the Stoics had a wonderful system for making sure that they didn't let their ambition or their anxieties run amok. And this system was basically to be mindful of how small we all really are, and to think about how seemingly insignificant our existence is. See, the thought behind this exercise was that if you can often come to terms with how small your life really is, then it would be easier to resist being angry or anxious, seeing as those things you're angry over are so insignificant. And it would also be easier to tame your desires when you realize how trivial those things that you desire really are. And we've talked about this briefly, for example, in episode 104, where I talked about the view from above technique. To sum it up, Marcus Aurelius would imagine himself looking down on the world and seeing how small everything is. This would humble him so that he could focus on the truly important things in life. He said, quote, "To see them from above, the thousands of animal herds, the rituals, the voyages on calm or stormy seas, the different ways we come into the world, share it with one another, and leave it. Consider the lives led once by others, long ago, lives to be led by others after you, the lives led even now, in foreign lands. How many people don't even know your name? How many will soon have forgotten? How many offer you praise now, and tomorrow perhaps contempt? That to be remembered is worthless, like fame, like everything." End quote. This is something that Marcus Aurelius thought about and wrote about often, And I might add that Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor who had all the power in the world. And I gather that it would have helped him immensely to humble himself so that he would not start to believe that he had all the power and was different to those people around him. And I wanted to share another one of those quotes from Marcus Aurelius that can help us all to become humble and to realize how small most things really are. He said, quote, "Soon you'll be ashes or bones, a mere name at most, and even that is just a sound, an echo. The things we want in life are empty, stale, and trivial. Dogs snarling at each other, quarreling children, laughing and then bursting into tears a moment later." End quote. Are you feeling slightly humbled yet? When I read things like this, I am conflicted because I do believe that my life is important. And I do believe that the way I live my life will make a difference on earth, potentially for years to come after I die. However, I then make sure that I remind myself that these kinds of thoughts from the Stoics were not intended to make us feel powerless, but rather they were meant to empower us to spend time and mental energy only on those things that truly matter, like virtue, strength, love, kindness, wisdom, learning, health, and relationships. These messages can help us to move away from silly quarrels or unimportant complaints. I mean, as I said at the start of the episode, there are some people who have gotten to such a point with their wealth or status that they have begun to accept nothing less. What Stoicism does, and what quotes like these ones do, is to help us to accept how unimportant most things in life really are, and how little we actually need in order to live a happy and fruitful life. I mean, yes, it would be nice to have a flashy car, but you don't need it in order to be an impressive human being. Yes, it would be awesome to have a beautiful home, but you can still be wise and inspired no matter what roof covers your head. It's always nice to get hundreds of likes or shares on social media, but what truly matters is who you are when nobody is watching. So move away from those small things that don't make a difference. Avoid silly arguments at all costs and shun the stupid little anxieties that plague you. Remember that our time on earth is brief, and our share of this existence is minimal. Focus on the things that make a difference, and move away from everything else. I'll talk to you next time, but until then, I hope that this episode has helped you on your rise to the good life. Ciao. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Practical Stoic Podcast. I hope it's been valuable for you, and if you'd like to support the show, then you can go to patreon.com/Simon Drew. If you'd like to try mindset coaching with me, then you can book your first free consultation by going to risetothegoodlife.com/coaching. To join the community, just go to Facebook and search for the Practical Stoic Mastermind. The links to all of these places are included in the show notes, but for now, this is Simon Drew signing out.